Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of my perfume collection video. Okay, before we get started with the collection, I have the second parcel. I told you this in my first video that I was expecting 2 more parcels to arrive this side of, well, in 2024 basically. The first one we unboxed in part 1, and this is the second parcel. So really, I'm not expecting any more fragrances until the new year. So technically those will be 2025. So I've taken off my address. That's why the packaging looked jacked up. So where I got this one from is Edulge. And I don't know if they ship internationally. I know that they ship within the UK. And it's also from the same, I believe it's from the same fragrance house as this one. It's called Matilda. And I've been wanting that one. That one has been on my wish list for a few months now. But I was just waiting for the right sale, the right offer. So it went on sale for £80. And then I used an influencer's discount code to get some more money off. So it just says my name. And it says, thank you for your order. How cute is that? I have a gift voucher. Okay. There is a code on there, but it says spend over £50 and receive £10 off your next order. Offer expires in February. So I will definitely be using that. There are a few fragrances on there that I'm interested in. So thank you so much, Edulge. So yeah, I use an influencer's discount for an additional 10% off. And no, I don't have a discount code, sadly. But if the brand is watching, I would love a discount code. If the online store is watching anyway. Got a cute little lint chocolates in Santa Claus. And there is a sample. Jupilo Roma. This one has red wine, plum, mango, strawberry, raspberry, praline, saffron, orange. Wow. And then heart, there's rose, there's jasmine, there's orchid, base, there's vanilla, chocolate, benzoin, amber, musk, sandalwood, patchouli. Wow. Okay. I did say I want to get my strips. Let's get a few around me. See what this smells like. I love the color of the juice. Let's see. Ooh, definitely my type. It's a bit boozy. Definitely you can get some smokiness of tobacco. You can smell some rum or some sort of booze. The rose is nice and spicy. It's ambery, it's warm, definitely. It's got a sweet undertone to it as well. Okay, I'm going to let this one sit. Just going to let it sit for a minute. See how it transforms. But that's Greenish, or Greenique, or Greenique. Extrait de Perfume. Okay, I've never heard of this brand, to be fair. That's interesting. But here she is. Here she is. So it's definitely from the same fragrance house in Matilda. Don't know if you've heard of it, but definitely one that I've seen quite a lot of people talk about. And yet again, it is another blind buy. This time we've got a little card. Is it of the fragrance or of different fragrances? Okay, so Matilda is here. It says Matilda is intoxicating purity, uncontaminated seduction, harmonious essence that frees the veiled desire. Okay, if you say so. So, come on. Okay, so this is what the bottle looks like. So, Profumo di Firenze, and it's Matilda. So according to descriptions, let me just get my phone. This is described as it's a unisex fragrance, and men and women can wear this. It is, so it has peach blossom, white grapefruit at the top. There's chamomile, which I've actually not come across chamomile in a fragrance, but chamomile is an aromatic herbal fragrance with green and spicy nuances. So there's chamomile, there's violet, there's Peru balsam, which is described as an intense woody, coniferous, aromatic ambery fragrance. There's also benzoin in the middle. In the base, there's vanilla, there's tonka bean, there's sandalwood, and there's musk. So I'm reading this off Fragrantica. According to Fragrantica, a lot of people say that this reminds them of Leisure in Paradise. I have Leisure in Paradise, so I'm sort of hoping it's not. Few people have said it doesn't smell like Leisure in Paradise, that it smells fantastic, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to try it. This is how the bottle looks like. I don't know, why do I feel like it looks like some of the fragrance, like the fragrance is half. I wore this one today, and just by looking at the two, Matilda is not looking full at all. Can you see? Compared to this one, and I wore this one today. Why do they look like they're on the same line? What's going on? I haven't even sprayed ya. I haven't sprayed ya. Okay, let's give her a spritz. Hope for the best. Okay. Right, so off the jump, I can see the nod to Leisure in Paradise, but Leisure in Paradise is a lot juicier than this one. This one, I don't know, it smells a little bit boozy as well. This one opens up with that sharp white grapefruit, absolutely, but it's also quite creamy. It's also floral. I do see the herbal nuances. It is quite warm. It is a bit nutty. It's a bit woody. Yeah, I get the violet. It's spicy, so I'm gonna let this one sit as well, and then we'll see. In the meantime, let me smell the other one. Yeah, that one's evolved into, like, you know, like distinguished gentleman. If you're to describe a distinguished gentleman, you would describe him as he's wearing a pinstripe suit. He's got a cigar in one hand, whiskey in another. You know, he's wearing a woody, warm fragrance, very inviting, very intoxicating. That's kind of like the vibe this is giving me. I don't know what it's gonna smell on my skin, but on the strip, yeah, love at first sniff. Alright, so let's carry on from where we left off in part 2. So in part 2, I showed you some of my other Middle Eastern French fragrances as well, very affordable. I also showed you a few designer, a few celebrity fragrances, a few inspired by fragrances, and a few niche fragrances as well. So what I want to do now is I'm going to finish this glass display. There's only one shelf left, and then we're going to move on to this level, which houses the rest of my Middle Eastern fragrances, at least the majority. I might have one or two odd ones just sort of dotted around just because of the size, but this is literally where I store them. And for aesthetics purposes, gonna turn on the lights so that it looks nice and cool. Okay, so I remember when Zara first came out with this style of bottles, everybody and their mama, including myself, went crazy for these. So these are, I think, the 200 ml bottle. Yeah, they're the 200 ml bottle. I got quite a few of these. I have decluttered quite a few. Just a little note on decluttering while I remember. I know some of you might go, She's showing us a collection. She's only telling us the ones that she loves. I kid you not, throughout the year, I have been decluttering my collection. Fragrances that I don't care to know more about or don't work for me, leave my collection. And fragrances that I am interested in, I might still be on the fence, but I'm still interested in knowing more. And fragrances that I absolutely love stay in my collection. So there isn't any fragrance right now in my collection that I want to get rid of. So if you're hearing me say this is a really good option, because it is, because I've got rid of the ones that are not great options or don't really work for me. So just bear that in mind, because I know sometimes when you see people with a large collection, you might go like, how, you know, there must be some fragrances in there that she hates or whatever. I'm not the type of person that collects for collecting purposes. I like to wear my fragrances, and I have, you know, periodically I go through, I take out stuff, I give it to friends and family, and that's about it. So there really isn't anything at this point in time that I want to get rid of in my collection. Okay, now back to Zara fragrances. So when they first came out with these big bottles and Zara was dropping them like flies, I picked up quite a few of these fragrances. I have since then decluttered quite a few, given them to friends and family. This one is Wonder Rose, and I really do like this fragrance. I kept it because it has that kind of feminine, juicy, sweet feel to it, which is quite versatile. It's a great fruity vanilla floral fragrance. I really do like it. Well formulated. I don't think Zara makes nice perfumes like this anymore. I went into Zara today to smell some of their fragrances, and honey, the price with the smell, I'm like, Zara, what is going on? So this one I recommend. I don't think you can get your hands on it, but it's definitely a really, really nice fruity floral fragrance with a beautiful vanilla kick to it. Next up is Zara Oriental. This is also a really good everyday type of fragrance. I like this because it's I feel it's all year round worthy. Let me spray it so I can remember. From memory, it's one of those fragrances that I was wearing to work quite a bit. So when I started my collection, I started with quite a lot of affordable fragrances, and I've since then just built up what I can afford to purchase. Yeah, this definitely is kind of like your easy, everyday, effortless type of fragrance. It's sweet, it's cozy, it's sexy, it's work appropriate. Yeah, I like this. Again, I don't think you can get your hands on it, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but it is a signature scent worthy perfume in my collection. Oh, well, in my opinion. Next up is Perpetual Oud. Ooh, let that focus. Come on, focus. All right, so Perpetual Oud, and Zara came out with a few of these, this style oud fragrance, and I bought quite a few. I have again since then decluttered quite a few. So, but I kept this one. I kept this one because I love rose and oud combination. They are strong, they are long lasting. Anything with saffron and with rose and sprinkle a little bit of oud, sign me up. Especially with the price is so affordable and it smells absolutely fantastic. I love it. This is supposed to be a dupe for I think it's Oud Satin Mood by MFK, and to be honest, this one is a little bit more wearable than Oud Satin Mood. Oud Satin Mood is a beast. This one is equally a beast, but it's still a little bit more wearable. I normally wear it during the winter months. I actually should pull this out and wear it. But yeah, I like it. It's strong, it's long lasting, especially for Zara scent. I don't know if you can get this one, but you might be able to get something similar. Zara always reformulates their fragrance one way or the other, but yeah, I like this one. Next up, who remembers this line from Joe Malone, well, is it Joe Malone? Joe Malone combination with Zara. Yeah, Joe Malone collaborated with Zara to release these fragrances. This one is absolutely my favorite from this particular line, and this one is called Ebony Wood. So Ebony Wood is a woody, spicy fragrance. I absolutely love the aesthetics of this bottle and the uniqueness of it. I don't have any fragrance like this in my collection. It's warm, it's spicy, it's woody, it's just elegant, and the lasting power on this is insane. I wanted to get backups of this and I just literally couldn't. I couldn't find any more. Smells amazing on a man, smells amazing on a woman. It's stunning. So if you can find this, I recommend you get your nose on it. If you like woody scents, you know, you really like that type of fragrance, then definitely see if you can get this. Next up is Fashionably London. This is another one that I love. This is another rose fragrance. It's musky. There's a citrus kick to it. It's slightly powdery. It's given expensive, niche. It's given strong, central. It's given perfect wear for the cooler months. It's given powdery, it's given feminine. It's very nice. This is supposed to be a little dupe to Delina Exclusive, and I must agree, I have sampled Delina Exclusive, a bit too powdery for me. This one is a little bit more wearable for me because I feel like the citrus in this one has a stronger kick, which sort of balances out the powderiness of the fragrance as opposed to Delina Exclusive. Only 3 notes in this fragrance. You've got bergamot, rose, and musk. So again, if you really love that kind of English rose, fresh citrus, sexy, effortless, sophisticated type of smell, and you can find this one, then definitely check it out. This is a really good alternative to Delina Exclusive if you don't want anything headache inducing but still long lasting. And the last one I have from this line is Magnificently Dubai, and this one is basically reminds me of my Arab fragrances. It is quite long lasting. It gives you that, again, luxurious sophisticated touch at fraction of the price, and I love it. If it has that oudi notes, which is it smells quite expensive. Again, there's saffron in this one, and I always say anything with saffron in it for some reason is just amazing. There's leather and there's nutmeg in this. This is supposed to be a dupe for Midnight Oud by Julia Has a Gun, according to Fragrantica. Now, I don't know how much of a dupe it is. In my opinion, this is a really strong fragrance. And I mean strong as in it stands on its own. It's quite a good formulation. So if you can get your hands on this one, then definitely check it out. So those are all the Zara fragrances that I have. I could have sworn I had more. Maybe I have decluttered everything. Damn. So those are all the Zara fragrances that I have. So I have quite a few Oakcha perfumes. I tried Oakcha perfumes this year, so I bought quite a few from their website during my birthday month to see what it's about, see what I can get. And we're gonna go through all the ones that I purchased. Okay, so the first one is Rue by Oakcha. So this was a freebie. You had to purchase a certain amount, and then I got this one for free. I think it normally comes in a white bottle, but this is supposed to be a dupe or inspired by Le Labo Santal 33. Now, I sampled Le Labo when I went to Paris, and oh boy, I was so tempted to pull the trigger. But honey, I'd already spent all the money on the flights and the hotel. Could not be buying nothing. I'm kidding. I did buy a few things, but I already exceeded my budget, so I couldn't purchase that fragrance. But I came back and found the next best thing, and it truly is the next best thing. It's a good inspired by fragrance for Le Labo. Yeah, so if you are interested in that fragrance and you can't afford it, like me, for now, then this is a good stopping gap. Okay, so next up I have Praise the Perfume. Very interesting name, but this is inspired by Melanie Martinez Crybaby Perfume Milk. I don't know that fragrance, but I was very much intrigued by the notes of this fragrance. There's milk, strawberry, powder, and caramel. So I was like, that sounds yummy, and yummy it is. It smells delicious. Let's give it a little spritz and remember what it smells like. But I know it smells creamy, it smells delicious, edible, all of the things. Yeah, very comforting, very edible, very yummy. Yeah, if you like edible, sort of gourmand, you know, caramel, woody, dry down with that milky lactonic start, a bit of strawberry, then you're gonna definitely love this one. Next up is Sweet Addict, and this is supposed to be inspired by Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy, and I do have I have a few inspired by Kilian Love Don't Be Shy, to be honest, and I quite like this one. This is a really good inspired by you know, vanilla, rose, pink pepper, marshmallow are the highlight notes of this on the Oakcha website, and I must agree it is quite a good inspired by. And like I said, if you want to dip your toe in the water, see if you even like the fragrance combination before pulling the trigger on an expensive bottle from Kilian, then you could check out this one. The last one, which has to be my favorite, is Blue Smoke, and this is inspired by Perfumes de Marly's Layton. And let me tell you something, they did something with this one. This is a really well crafted fragrance. If you've tried the Perfumes de Marly Layton and, like I said, you don't have the shmoney, this one, I like it. This one I recommend. It's really actually I recommend all of them, but particularly this one, just because that fragrance from Perfumes de Marly, in my opinion, is difficult to nail, but I feel like they did it with this one, so I definitely recommend. I lied to you, there's one more. So this is Dune Dance, and this is inspired by Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomade. Again, another good one. I can't actually remember how much of it inspired by this one is. Again, I've sampled Ombre Nomade, but can I remember what it smells like? Let's have a look. I think it is spot on, because I did sample. I picked fragrances that I had just recently sampled so that I either had it or wanted or sampled it, and I'm pretty sure I was very satisfied with all of them. I did do a birthday unboxing talking about them, so yeah, I recommend. This is, yeah, that is it. Anyway, those are all my Oakcha fragrances. The last two I have down here, this is a newer fragrance. My son got this for me for Christmas, and this is the Yardley London EDT Bluebell and Sweet Peas. Actually quite nice. And this, so I'm saying it like as if no, Yardley fragrances are not nice. Yardley fragrances are nice, but I like this one, and it's great for spring. It just smells really fresh. It's fruity, but still just leaning very clean and fresh, so I'm looking forward to wearing it during the spring time. The last one comes in a little cap. I got this from my Harrods beauty box last Christmas, and this is the Eccentric 04 Molecules fragrance. Now this fragrance stumped me when I first purchased it, and from the beauty box, and I tried it, what am I saying, from the advent calendar, and I tried it. I couldn't smell anything, literally couldn't smell anything. I wore this so many times, I couldn't smell anything. People around me couldn't smell anything. I put it on my TikTok saying I can't smell anything, am I doing something wrong with this fragrance? And people said that you're supposed to combine this with maybe lesser performing fragrances, and it helps to enhance the fragrance. Now I have been doing that. I have been doing that, and it is doing the work, but I don't think that's what this was formulated to be. I think it's formulated to be a standalone fragrance, in my opinion, but it just doesn't perform on its own on me. It doesn't smell at all. So, but when I combine it with some fragrances that are a little bit lackluster, it boosts that fragrance. So I layer this one. I layer it a lot. So yeah. Okay, so we've done the glass shelf. That's all done. Next up, I'm going to tackle this layer. So this video might be a little longer than the rest, but this predominantly houses my Lattafa fragrances. I might have the odd Swiss Arabian, Alhambra in here, but majority, I'd probably say about 80% is Lattafa. So we're going to tackle it from right to left. And yeah, just go one after the other. First up is Badi Al Oud by Lattafa. This is supposed to be a dupe for Oud for Greatness by Initio, and I agree, it 100% is, and it's one of the OG Middle Eastern fragrances that hit socials, and people were in love with this. If you love oud woody fragrances, then you're definitely gonna love this. It's excellent for the price point, spot on, very inexpensive for the fragrance that it's duped. It is long lasting, very strong performance. You only need a little bit. This fragrance could last you a lifetime. I don't think it's a lot of sprays type of fragrance. You definitely have to take your time. And yeah, I like to wear this in the winter months. I know there's some people that like to wear it in hot climates because it seems to really get the fragrance to shine. Personally, I like to wear it in the cooler months just to give me that more cozy feel. And obviously, you guessed it, there's saffron in this, there's oud in this, so clearly it's gonna be a fantastic fragrance. Next up is Kalta blend of Lattafa. Now, I was scrolling online one night and I came across this particular fragrance. I think there is another one in this style, and I was intrigued by the bottle and I was intrigued by the spicy notes. There's obviously saffron in this, there's rose, there's incense, there's oud. So I was like, yeah, a rose oud fragrance, give it to me. Yes, I need it now. I need it like yesterday. It's lovely, it's woody. It's not one that is highly spoken about. I like it because the performance is intense. It's great value for money. It's quite strong for what it is, and it's super inexpensive. I know the packaging might irritate some people that have a phobia for stuff like this, but other than that, it smells freaking amazing. There is patchouli in this, and I must say, though patchouli is not listed, I know there's patchouli in this because there's that kind of patchouli smell. Like, patchouli has a smell for me, or maybe it's leather patchouli. Sometimes I mix them up, but I think it's patchouli that is not listed, but I'm pretty sure it must be in this fragrance just because of the way it smells. But anyway, this is one that I personally love. Next up is Amir Al Oud. This is another intense oud fragrance, another crowd pleaser. This is supposed to be inspired by Maison Margiela. What is it? By the Fireplace. It's smoky, but I actually prefer this one. I sold my By the Fireplace because it was just too suit-like, you know. It's supposed to be smoky, like with that tobacco, with that essence, but it just smelled like suit. It didn't give off that kind of cigar, smoky, tobacco type of scent. It just smelled like suit. But for me, this one gives off that kind of sweet vanilla in the base, but sort of smoky, oudy type of fragrance, which I love. Again, a lot of people like to wear this in the hotter climates because they claim that it the performance is insane and it just smells 10 times better. Personally, I like to wear it in the winter months. Next up is Musk Oud by Lattafa. I can't really tell you too much about this fragrance. I've only worn it maybe once or twice, but it's nice. Let's see. I can't even remember what it smells like. I know I enjoyed it when I wore it, but it's just because I have a big collection, some fragrances go unnoticed for a while. Yeah, it is, you know, it's got that underlining oud essence, but it is exactly like it says. It's a musk oud. It's musky, a bit animalic, a little bit creamy, but the oud is just silently in the background. So yeah, I like this one as well. The one that is widely spoken about definitely is Oud Mood. So again, this is a beautiful, I would describe it as a warm, oudy, spicy fragrance. That's how I would describe it. There's saffron, there's rose, there's oud in this one as well. And it's spicy. There is a little bit of caramel in this one as well. Great projection, great performance. Very interesting, gorgeous perfume. I don't wear it near enough. I really should. And I'm loving doing this video because I'm seeing a lot of fragrances that I'm blinded to. When I'm in my collection trying to pick something, I tend to go for the same thing. I'm sure my fragrances are fed up of me. But the fragrances like this, they need their time. Okay, we need to bring it out. And let me see if this is a dupe of anything. Well, some people on Fragrantica have likened it to Oud Bouquet. I have Oud Bouquet. I've never actually tested it side by side, but anyway, this is a great affordable fragrance. So this is one I was inspired to buy this year. This is Ajayeb Dubai Portrait by Lattafa. This is a tropical fragrance. It's fruity, it's sweet, it's amazing. The mango notes in this one, the lemon, the orange, it's just tropical in a bottle with that added performance because it does have oud, it has sandalwood, there's musk, there's amber, and there's also jasmine and osmanthus in this fragrance. It's great. People have likened this to be a dupe for Soleil de Jeddah Mango Kiss by Stephanie Humbert Lucas 777. Honestly, haven't tried that fragrance, haven't tried anything from that house, but just as a standalone fragrance, I absolutely enjoyed wearing this during the summer months. It really made me feel like I was on holiday. Beautiful tropical fragrance, beautiful performance, great value for money. Highly recommend this one. At this point, need I say anything about this fragrance? This is Swiss Arabian Shagaf Oud. This is the oud of all ouds. This is a queen of rose oud combination. This is a honey rose oud fragrance. It's sweet, it's delicious, it's amazing. Okay, and if you want that rosy, sweet, long-lasting fragrance, then you're definitely gonna like this one. Why did I say honey? It's praline. There's praline, there's vanilla in this one. So it's saffron, rose, oud, praline, vanilla. Beautiful. It just has that creamy essence in the dry down. It's very, very comforting, but still the performance is insane. It's still very affordable, still be smooth, still long lasting, gorgeous, layered up with other vanilla fragrances. It just performs really, really nicely. I know Swiss Arabian have come out with some other fragrances in their line, and this is the only one I have. Currently, I definitely want to try the others that come in this particular packaging and just see if I have the same type of love. This was a blind buy and I fell in love. This was recommended by Fumi Monet, and it's one of the first fragrances that she recommended that I blind bought, and I was hooked ever since. Like, this is such a good recommendation by her. Next up is Jazab by Lattafa. So this is a floral fragrance. It's got rose, it's got some spices, grapefruit, pink pepper. It's a really nice, affordable floral fragrance. Let me give it a little spritz. Yeah, it's a really nice, affordable, fruity floral fragrance. Very delicious, very long lasting as well. So if you're into your fruity gourmands, then you're gonna love this one. Next up is Anna Abiyed Rouge. So this one is inspired by Baccarat Rouge 540, but I think for me it smells more like the extracts than just 540. It's giving off, I would say, of all the Baccarat dupes inspired by all sorts that I've tried, this is probably the closest one, and I highly recommend it. I like to layer it with my 540 extract, so if you want to save a little coin, definitely check out this one. Okay, so next up is Mystique Bouquet from Afnan, and if you know, you know, this went viral on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, and I had to get my nose on it, so much so that I bought a backup of this fragrance because it is that good. This is supposed to be an inspired by or dupe for Perfumes de Mali Valea. I haven't actually worn Valea before, but if it is, then this is a fantastic fragrance nonetheless. This is a beautiful floral fragrance with a fruity kick to it, but it's more floral in my opinion. It's very soft. It's very feminine. It's just everything you'd expect if a softly spoken woman to look like in a bottle, in a fragrance. There are notes such as peony, orange blossom, vetiver in the middle. There's vanilla, so it does have a vanilla dry down. There's white peach, mandarin orange, bergamot, and lychee at the top. And I love the performance of this fragrance. It's absolutely fantastic. It just, yeah. If you are looking for a floral fragrance with a fruity kick that is soft, elegant, also very affordable, I highly recommend this one. Like, I can't recommend this one highly enough. Like I said, I have a backup of this bottle just because it is so good. And I wear this, I actually could wear this all year round, to be fair, but I wear this spring, summer time mostly. But I wear it to work, I wear it at home, I wear it out to dinner, I wear it out on a date. I wear it whenever, wherever she shows up. Next up is Nebras from Latafa. This is another viral fragrance. This is supposed to be a dupe for Billie Eilish, which is this bottle. All right, but it's a higher performing fragrance. I would actually say both of them are suitable for different occasions. I like to wear Eilish to bed because I feel like it's a lot softer than Nebras. Nebras packs a punch. It is still a vanilla fragrance. It's still sweet. It's creamy. It does still have cacao in it. It has rose in it. But for me, it's just a little bit too spicy, too deep to wear at night. So I like to wear this one out during the day, and I like to wear Eilish to bed. It is very, very long lasting, affordable, high quality fragrance. I think would work really well on a man as well. Great projection, delicious scent. Can definitely wear this all year round as well. Next up is from Ajmal Fragrance, and I got this quite a while ago. I really was pulled in by the kind of gold rose stuff happening in the middle of the bottle, which is quite a beautiful aesthetic. But this is another floral fruity fragrance. Again, I feel like it smells more expensive than it actually looks. It is quite ripe, it's juicy, it's long lasting, beautiful design, and I absolutely love this. It gives me a citrus kick. It does have a vanilla essence. It has raspberry and lemon at the top. It also has gardenia, orange blossom, jasmine, some spices, some fruits, and in the base it does have a few powdery notes, vanilla, amber, musk, woody notes. So it does have some depth to it. I personally enjoyed this. I know this has been likened to Paco Rabanne Lady Million, and I do have Lady Million actually, because this is my Lady Million. I've just never, a lot of these fragrances, I don't purchase them particularly because it's a dupe for something. If I see the notes and I like it, I don't even care if I already have the original. I'll purchase it. So this is Aurum. Oh, so amazing. I love her. And then this is 1 Million. Oh, Lady Million, I mean. Okay. Okay, I see the similarity. I would say that Aurum is a little bit deeper in my opinion. Lady Million is kind of like that burst of citrus notes. It's sweet, it's fresh, whereas this one is deeper, it's warmer. Okay, but I see why people say that it reminds them of Lady Million. It's a good fragrance anyway, I recommend it. Next up is another one from Lattafa. This is Teriyaki Intense, and I did test out Teriyaki the original. My friend Caris gave me a sample of it, and yes, it does remind me of Labelle by JPG, but I still prefer JPG. So I never actually purchased that one because it didn't feel unique enough for me to have it. I know a lot of people like that fragrance, but the notes for the Intense kind of really intrigued me. So this one has obviously saffron, of course. It has saffron, it has bergamot at the top, there's plum liquor, cinnamon in the middle, amber, tonka bean, and benzoin at the base. Now, it is a spicy fragrance. It does have some depth to it. It does have a bit of smokiness, and I think it comes from the cinnamon. But as of right now, I'm not a huge fan. I've worn it a few times already, and I'm still trying to find the wow power. Like, what is making people really love this fragrance? And I know fragrance is subjective, so I'm still just gonna keep it in my collection and see if I try it again in like a month or so, because sometimes you have to revisit fragrances to see how you like them. Like I said, I do keep some fragrances because I am interested in it and I want to see how it evolves or if I will like it. And this is one of them. It's definitely not a love at first sniff for me. I feel like yeah, I'm gonna need to test this out a little bit more. But in terms of its performance, it's not bad. For a Lattafa fragrance, it's pretty good performance. Longevity as well is pretty good. It's just, I don't know, it's just not giving the intensity that I was hoping to get out of it. But the bottle is interesting, you know, the snakes and all. I'm not a fan, but you know, it is what it is. One that I am a fan of is another one from Afnan. This is Souvenir Floral Bouquet. Again, I purchased this one when Fumi Monet talked about this on TikTok, and just look at the stunning cap. It's so pretty. I don't even know if you could take this bit off, but I've never tried. I don't know what I'm trying now. But it is just absolutely gorgeous. And this for me is the only fragrance that I would say 100, well, would I say 100%? I would say it's the only one that fully reminds me of Delina. Not Delina exclusive, Delina itself. There is some DNA of Delina exclusive, but I feel like it's so close to Delina. It is a long-lasting fragrance, beautiful projection, beautiful scent trail. Obviously, the bottle is a vibe. It does have some lovely fruity notes such as lychee, rhubarb. And rhubarb for me is difficult to get in a fragrance for me to like it. Most times I declutter my rhubarb fragrances, like the one from DNG, Liam Patrice. I decluttered that one because the rhubarb was rhubarb and it was just too much. But the rhubarb in this one is done really well. It does have that citrus kick with the bergamot as well. And in the middle, there's rose, there's vanilla, there's peony, there's lily of the valley. And then the base, there's amber, musk, and cashmere wood. So it does sort of transform. You do get some powderiness. You get some vanilla, some citrus. The rose is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful, well-formulated floral fruity fragrance that I really recommend. Like, if you want to test this out, definitely get it. And if you can, because I purchased mine in a gift set, try and get the gift set, because the gift set comes with a moisturizer, and the moisturizer is just layered on top of each other. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you can get your hands on the gift set, definitely go for it. Next, one from Lattafa. This is a newer one I added to my collection this year, and this is Angham. Angham is supposed to be a dupe for Burberry Goddess. So the original Burberry Goddess, which I do have as well somewhere in this collection. I'm trying to find it so I could show you the bottle. Where is it? Okay, she's over here somewhere. Let's see if we can shimmy her. I hope that's not intense I'm bringing out. That's intense. And then this is Goddess itself. Yeah, so this is the bottle is duping, right? Burberry Goddess. Now, I must say, personally, I could tell the difference between the two. But I know a lot of people feel like it is a spot-on dupe. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they're definitely in the same scent family. They have sort of a familiar DNA. But I can tell the difference. Either way, it's a beautiful vanilla fragrance. And it's sweet. It's powdery. There's lavender in it, there's praline, there's cacao, there's jasmine. It does have a warm base. And then the opening is a little bit spicy. There is some ginger in it. There's some spicy notes in it as well. So overall it's a very nice fragrance. So if you can't afford the Burberry Goddess, then it's definitely an alternative that is worth checking out. The next one I'm going to talk about is Athena, which has also been likened to be an alternative for Burberry Goddess. So we'll get into that one in a second. But this is a beautiful standalone fragrance. Like, forget that it's an inspired by or is duping a certain fragrance. If you like a vanilla fragrance with a little bit of a spice kick and it's warm, this one will get you together, and the performance is pretty good on this one as well. Okay, like I said, the next one is Athena. Athena is by Maison Alhambra, and it is a very beautiful bottle. I really like this one. I think aside from how gorgeous the bottle is and that whole marble cap, the marble cap effect that it's given, aside from all of that, it is a beautiful vanilla fragrance. There is cypress, thyme, saffron, a few fruity notes at the top, so you do get that spiciness. There's rose, jasmine, iris in the middle. There's amber, leather, vanilla, musk, cedar in the base, and goes on and on. For me, it's an aromatic vanilla fragrance. Very rich, very deep, beautiful formulation, great performance. And yes, people have said it reminds them of Burberry Goddess. Again, I could tell the difference, but this is a beautiful fragrance and it is worth checking out if you're looking for Burberry Goddess especially. But if you just want a great vanilla fragrance, then definitely get her. You're gonna find that with my Middle Eastern or French perfumes, I don't particularly buy perfumes because it's a dupe of something. If I like I said, if I like it, I'll buy it. So this is another one that's supposed to be inspired by something. This is The Kingdom by Lattafa, and this one is inspired by Kayali wedding silk santal, apparently. Apparently, to be honest, I haven't put it side by side. Definitely comment below if you want me to test out these fragrances side by side and give you my full opinion. But to be honest, I don't buy my perfumes because of that. I look at the notes, and most of these are blind buys, and if I like the notes, then I purchase it. If it does give me the same DNA or reminds me of it, then I would layer it and I would use it more than I would use the more expensive one, if that makes sense. But I don't particularly buy it for that purpose anyway. So as you guessed it, this is definitely a vanilla leaning fragrance. It is floral fruity. It's a gourmand fragrance. There's Pierre Peony at the top. There's also praline. There's tonka in the middle. There's jasmine. There's vanilla. There's sandalwood. There's amber. Now, I haven't really worn this for a full day yet. It's actually one of the newer fragrances in my collection, so I can't really speak too much about the performance. All I will say is I do love the way this smells, and I'm looking forward to wearing it more. Next up is Quema from Lattafa, again with these kind of like design yeah, of the fragrance. It's a beautiful fragrance, and you guessed it, it is inspired by a fragrance. It's actually inspired by Carolina Herrera Good Girl, which I do have, and I have worn this fragrance a few times, so I do know that it does smell like Good Girl. Like, they got it spot on. It's probably the closest Good Girl fragrance that I've sampled that smells like Good Girl, not smelling like Good Girl and some other fragrances. This actually just smells like Good Girl, so they did a good job on that one, if that was the purpose. But anyway, there's almond in this, there's coffee, there's tuberose, jasmine, tonka, obviously there's vanilla, there's cacao, and there's sandalwood. The only thing I don't particularly like about this fragrance is the performance, especially as it's a Lattafa fragrance. I think we've been spoiled in that we've come to expect that all of the Lattafa fragrances have to be beast mode or long lasting. But if you don't mind decanting this and wearing it, then it is worth it. If you don't want to fork out the money for Good Girl, but you want something that's going to give you the same essence, or if you just love the packaging of this and you want to add this to your collection, it's definitely worth it. It's super affordable, and I do love having it. As you can tell, I've worn it quite a bit, and I do enjoy wearing this for date night. I also wear it during the spring summer months. Sometimes I even wear it during the colder months. So who remembers Rassisi Jasmine Whip? I remember when this perfume came out ages ago, people went crazy for it, and I still have a little bit of it left in my collection. For me, it's a cocktail perfume. Just reminds me of like a champagne cocktail. It's very fruity, it's sweet, it's gourmand. I adore it. The performance on this is insane, with a beautiful scent trail. It's great value for money. It's great for the summer months. You know, like I said, it just smells like a champagne cocktail, like a mocktail drink or a cocktail. You know, you're on the beach and you're drinking something. That's what this reminds me of. It does have grapefruit, lemon, mandarin, orange at the top. You've got passion fruit, which obviously gives you holiday vibes. You've got white flower, pear, peach, coconut. Then in the base, vanilla, tonka, bean, and amber. It is gorgeous. Now, a few people have said this reminds them of a little bit about Erba Pura. And it also reminds them of Tiziana Terenzi's Kirk. I believe I have Kirk. I think so. I think I do. But anyway, like I said, I had this before any of them. I had this before Erba Pura, and I had this before Kirk. So like I said, not really looking for particular dupes, but if you're interested in this and you're finding it difficult finding it, check my Amazon storefront. I think I do still have it linked. If not, definitely check out Erba Pura if you want that essence, or the alternative for Erba Pura from NUSUK that I talked about in part 2 of my collection. Next up is Maya by Latafa. Now, I haven't really worn this one. I have sampled it a few times, but I haven't given it a full day's wear. And I bought this because of its tartness. For me, it's a sharp, tart fragrance that sort of sweetens over time, but it's quite tart in the opening. So there's lychee, there's raspberry, there's violet leaf at the top, and then in the middle there's peony, white rose, jasmine, and base there's vanilla, and there is musk. Now it is quite tropical still, but it is quite yeah, tart is the best word from what I can remember. You do get that whole lychee coming through, but it's just so tart, and I think it's the raspberry that just makes it quite tart. Now this is supposed to be inspired by, where is it, this one, Angel Nova. So it's supposed to be inspired by this guy called Angel Nova, which is also quite tart. Like I said, I haven't tested this one side by side. I'm just reporting what the girls are saying. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do some videos testing them side by side. But either way, I love this fragrance, and I'm absolutely looking forward to wearing it in the spring summer months. Because I haven't worn it out for a full day, I can't really tell you what the performance is, but I am quite interested in, yeah. Show me your smoothest rose fragrance, and I'll show you this one. This is Mora by Latafa, and honestly, this is so good. This is such a great formulation. It's woody, the rose is smooth, you've got saffron in there, there's lavender, there's blood orange, there's bergamot at the top, there's black pepper, Kashmirian, rose in the middle, there's cedar, patchouli, sandalwood, labdanum, and musk in the base. This is giving warm spiciness, it's giving that rose, it's giving a bit of powdery, it's giving a bit of woodiness. It's quite a unique date friendly fragrance, or if you want to capture attention, you've got a board meeting. It's not overpowering, but the central is there and the performance is also there. So I definitely recommend this one, and obviously you guessed it, this is supposed to be a nod or a dupe for Halfeti Cedar by Penhaligon's. Some people have said it also reminds them of Halfeti itself, and also Halfeti leather. So basically the Halfeti line from Penhaligon's. I don't have any of those fragrances, to be honest, but again, I didn't buy it for that. This one I bought because of the rose. I do love saffron in fragrances, so saffron and rose combination, sign me up. This is a really good fragrance. Next up, I've got Fakar Rose. And it's Fakhar Rose by Latafa. Now this is supposed to be inspired or dupe of L'Entre Dites EDP by Givenchy, and it is. That's all I can say. It really is. But I actually quite like this one, maybe a little bit better in terms of its performance. It's great longevity. I love the packaging. It's feminine, it's floral, the projection is insane. It's got beautiful tuberose, it's got jasmine in it. Trying to think, it's got rose in it, it's got vanilla in the dry down. It's a well formulated fragrance, super inexpensive, great for day dates, date night, day wear, to work, out with friends, whatever you want to do. It's such a gorgeous fragrance. Next up is Amirat Al Arab Privé Rose by Asdaf. Now I got this fragrance ages ago, and don't mind the wonky sticker. That's how I actually purchased it, and it is kind of like this velvet material that just gets stuff stuck on it. It's just quite annoying. It is very annoying. Now this one is another nod to Delina exclusive, and it does give me Delina exclusive vibes. You guessed it, it is a floral fruity fragrance. There's strawberry, grapes, orange in the top, and then you've got rose, obviously. There's ylang ylang, gardenia in the base, sorry, in the middle, and then there's tonka bean, amber, sandalwood in the base. It's a rose, fruity, sweet, powdery white floral fragrance, basically. And the performance is not bad. It's strong. Sillage as well is quite strong. I do enjoy wearing this. I won't say that it blew my mind, but if you're looking for another Delina exclusive option, this is a good one. It is quite close. I don't really like the packaging of it, and yeah, that's just me. I mean, if I come in close, you can see all the dust and stuff. It's quite annoying, but you can see that. Next, we have my very #1 Angel Share, inspired by, that hands down reminds me of Angel Share, and not Angel Share and something else, Angel Share itself. And that's Kismet by, sorry, Angel by Kismet, and no, Kismet Angel by Maison Alhambra. Right, then get that right. It's by Maison Alhambra. This is exactly what it says. It is a sweet, creamy, boozy, spicy, nutty fragrance. There's vanilla, honeycomb, amber at the top. Then you've got cognac, cinnamon, caramel, tonka bean in the middle. And then you've got dark chocolate in the base. The performance of this is insane. It's very long lasting. Great scent trail, definitely worth the money, and in my opinion smells more like Angel Share than any other fragrance that I have put my nose on. And that is all I need to say on this. Next up is Private Gold Confidential by Lattafa. This is another one that is giving Herba Pura vibes. It's also giving Tiziana Terenzi Kirk. Again, it's all about that sweet but tart opening. It sort of gives that essence. But anyway, this has lots of notes of fruity notes at the top, but the standout ones for me, there's pear, there's raspberry for that tartness, there's passion fruit, and in the middle you've got lily of the valley. The base obviously has musk, vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, heliotrope. So it is woody, it's powdery, it's fruity, it's sweet, incredibly long lasting. Scent trail as well is really good. It does nod to Kirk and Herba Pura. Like, you do get that DNA, that essence. So again, if you're looking for a fruity fragrance with that peach note or that tartness, then definitely check out this one. Next up is Quaid by Lattafa, and this is a warm, spicy, woody, oudi vanilla fragrance. It's great quality. The performance of this is quite strong, and projection is quite strong, longevity is quite strong. It smells expensive. It smells like a variation of many other fragrances that I've worn. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, the cinnamon, the bergamot, it does have saffron, it does have oud, it does have vanilla. It doesn't have rose in it, but the saffron and the oud just gives it that strength, which I really like. And then the very dry down, you get the essence of the vanilla, which is quite nice. So I like it. It's one that I like to wear in the cooler months. It smells really nice on a man. It's a great unisex option as well, and one that I recommend if you want a really powerful powerful fragrance in your collection. Next up is Camera Qua by Lattafa. Again, another unisex fragrance, beautiful vanilla fragrance. I personally prefer this to Camera itself, and it's because it leans a little sweeter. There is some spiciness to it. You get that beautiful coffee note. It is quite nutty and sweet. It does have praline in it as well, and it has ginger at the top. Great performance, great scent trail. Still does have the DNA of Camera, obviously, because it's supposed to be an offshoot of the Camera fragrance, which they did quite nicely. But personally, I prefer this one. I feel like the coffee note in this is doing a lovely job, a lovely jubbly, mixed in with that praline. It's giving me what I need to get from this fragrance. I definitely need to wear her more. but I love the packaging of these camera scents. Speaking of camera, I'm sure you already know, but I mean, it's just giving gin and it's giving brandy in a glass. Like, it's just such a beautiful packaging, but I'm sure you already know about this fragrance. It's great. It's a unisex scent. It's long lasting. It's sweet. It's spicy. Great for colder months. Nothing else I can say. It does have cinnamon. It doesn't have the coffee note, which the Quaha has, but it does have praline, and it does have vanilla, and it does have tonka bean. There's tuberose in this one as well. Not that I get much of the tuberose, but you know, perfume is subjective. You might get more of the tuberose and I might get less of it, but anyway, it is, I love it. It's great performance, and it's not something that I would definitely pick this one over it, but it is a great fragrance, and as you can tell, I do wear it. I do wear her quite a bit. It's from LXR Perfumes, and this is Angel Elixir. It's an extrait de parfum. Again, it's supposed to give off that whole angel share camera type of vibe. It's spicy. It is a beautiful fragrance. I do quite like the smell of it. Like I said, it gives off that vibe. So there is praline, there's cinnamon, there's bergamot, there's vanilla, there's tonka bean. So it does smell like camera a little bit. I haven't seen any difference, to be honest. I don't really wear it that much, but I do wear it with camera just to extend the life of camera. That's what it is. Next up is the beast mode of all beast modes. This is Sheikh Al Shayuk. It's by Latafa. This guy is intense. This is Shagaf Oud mixed in with Oud Mood, mixed in with Lancome Oud Bouquet, mixed in with all of the oud leaning fragrances. This thing is strong. Damn. It is so strong. You literally only need one spray, hence why my bottle still looks really full, because all I can get away with is just one spray. It's a spicy fragrance. It's luxurious. It's strong. It's long lasting. It's smooth. It's really nice. You just can't wear too much of it. It does have saffron. It has rose. It has woody notes. It has caramel, patchouli, vanilla. It has all the notes that you would want, but it's just too strong. It's too strong, and this is coming from somebody who likes to wear oud fragrances. It just smells too strong. Next up, we're going into the Yara fragrances. So this is Yara Candy by Latafa. This is actually one of two of my favorites from this particular Yara line from Latafa. This is so well done. This is a gorgeous gourmand floral fruity fragrance. I've got some of my favorites in here. There's obviously vanilla in the dry down. There's amber. There's also blackcurrant at the top. There is strawberry fizz candy in the middle. There's gardenia. It's given fruity. It's given slightly powderiness, a bit of citrus tart. But ultimately, it is a sweet girl fragrance. It's so sweet. It's delicious. I absolutely love this fragrance. Plus, it does have good enough performance for scents like this. I'm not expecting beast mode performance. Like, let's be real. There is nothing in the notes that's going to give me that power. But it is perfect for summer and springtime, and it smells absolutely delicious. Great layering as well. You can layer this with tart fragrances and it will bring out the sweetness in it as well. My favorite is Yara Toss. This is a tropical baddie. This is a tropical fragrance. Reminds me of Holiday in a Bottle. This is supposed to be a dupe for Fame, and it is quite close. Like, you do get the DNA of Fame, and I do like to wear them together just to extend the life of this one. But I love this fragrance. It has mango, it has coconut, it has passion fruit in the opening. There is vanilla in the base. There's jasmine. There's orange blossom in the middle. There's heliotrope as well. It is a yummy, a yummy summer cocktail in a bottle. That's what I can say. Great performance, great central, not strong, not enormous, not everlasting. Again, like I said, the notes don't really give it anything that's going to hold on to its lasting power. But if you're not afraid to respray this, definitely buy it. It's definitely more long lasting than Fame itself. So yeah, wearing it together just gives me the performance that I need, which is enough. And yeah, it's definitely one I recommend. Next up is Yara Moi. And this is another floral woody, I would say, floral woody fragrance. And it does have jasmine peach at the top. There's caramel amber in the middle. There's patchouli and sandalwood. I feel like there is a musky scent somewhere in this fragrance. I do get a bit of musk, and a bit of powderiness. But I do get the white floral, I get a bit of woodiness, I get a bit of sweetness. It's a lovely fragrance. It's just not one that I wear on its own most of the time. I like to combine it. It's supposed to be a dupe for Marc Jacobs Perfect Intense, which I do have. So this girl, supposed to be a dupe for her. Actually, let me give her a smell. Okay, I can see it. I can see the DNA. So it's supposed to be a dupe for this one. But like I said, I don't really wear this one too much. At least not on its own. I like to wear it with other fragrances. And the one that split TikTok was the original Yara. Now, believe you me, since I sprayed it the first time or tested it the first time, I haven't worn it since then because my impression of it was really bad. It gave me spoiled milk type of vibes, and I put a video on my TikTok saying I don't like it. I don't know what people are talking about. This just smells rank to me. And people were saying maybe I got a dud, maybe I needed to let it macerate. And you know what, I think it's going 2 years now since I sprayed this perfume. So we're gonna do it on camera now and see if it has improved at all. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm even gonna spray it on my skin so nobody can say you didn't even try it on your skin. Okay, let's see, because I haven't sprayed it at all. See if it makes a difference. Okay, already smells different from when I first sprayed it. And the thing is, Lattafa was pumping these out like none other, so I wouldn't be surprised. But 2 years? Oh, okay, this smells amazing. It smells like cotton candy. It's so sweet. Yeah, it smells like cotton candy, like vanilla. Oh, it's so delicious. It's fluffy, marshmallow, bit of citrus kick. Okay, this is also supposed to be a nod to pepper jeans for her. So pepper jeans is those ones that come in that like cocktail, is it? Yeah, those cocktail glasses. But anyway, I'm gonna need to wear this one more because I haven't worn it. I haven't featured it in any videos this year at all because I've just left it to macerate. And it looks like it's paid off because this smells, it smells better and better. Oh, it smells so good. As it's drying down, there's a musky note. There's a musky note, but still staying floral. That is really nice. I'm very happy about that. Okay. Next up, we've got Eclair. Eclair needs no introduction. Eclair is the infamous Bianco Latte dupe, and it's gorgeous. It even makes me sneeze like Bianco Latte. When I first spray Bianco Latte, I go into a sneezing fest, and this one does exactly the same thing. I know some people have said they don't like it, but personally it works for me. There is a beautiful honey note in this fragrance. It's sweet, it's lactonic, there's sugar, there's milk, there's caramel, there's vanilla, there's praline, there's musk in it. It's just stunning. The performance of it as well is great. I feel like it is long lasting, maybe a little bit better than Bianco Latte even. And it just smells amazing. So if you want Bianco Latte or even Nebras, if you combine the two of them, if you want a bit of that and you don't want to spend the money for it, definitely try and find this one. I'll have it linked in my Amazon storefront. As a matter of fact, I'll have most of these fragrances, if I can find them on Amazon, I'll have them linked in my Amazon storefront, and you can just shop using the link in my description box. It will help me out a lot. I will get some commission on it, but again, it's more about helping you guys find these fragrances. And we are on the home stretch. So next up is Affection by Lattafa, and this is supposed to be a dupe for Yardley Yum Pistachio Gelato, but honestly I would actually say this is more a dupe for Cahier Pistachio by Paris Corner. Again, the same as the Paris Corner one. It's just not giving that freshness of pistachios. It's just smelling a little bit artificial. And I bought this just, again, I want to prolong I want to prolong the lifespan of my young pistachio. So I bought this one, and I just feel like I've doubled up on the one from Paris Corner. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I wish it was a little fresher, but it does sort of give off the whole yum pistachio. It's nutty, it's vanilla, it's white floral, it's a bit warm. It's just a bit, it's a bit synthetic or artificial, if you like, in my opinion. This next one I bought purely because of the packaging and then fell in love with it. And this is La African Drummer by Lattafa, and the drum is actually quite raised. The girl as well, she's raised, so it is quite a lovely packaging, and I love it. It's so beautiful, it's so deep in my opinion, it's spicy, it's a lovely floral, fruity floral fragrance. I probably say there's coconut, there's bergamot at the top, there's ylang ylang, there's jasmine, orange blossom in the middle, then you've got musk, ambroxan, and vanilla in the base. This is supposed to be, actually people have said this reminds them of Dolce & Gabbana, The Only One Intense. I don't see the similarity, but Fragrantica tells me that it reminds them, let me get it. It reminds them of a few fragrances that I don't agree. So Lust for Sun by Julia Hazelka. Like, we're not even going to bother. Those fragrances, it doesn't remind me of any of them. Nah, they lie. I would definitely say even the Dolce & Gabbana Intense, The Only One Intense, is probably even a closer one, but it's still far off. This is a standalone gorgeous fragrance. I love it, and I feel men can wear this quite nicely, and definitely get your nose on it if you can. Last but not least in this video is Ansam Gold by Lattafa. This is a beautiful nod to Perfumes de Mali Oriana, and I highly agree. I do have Oriana, which is right here. So that's Oriana. Hello. And I would honestly say that it is a better performing, better smelling version of Oriana, and I love Oriana, so I think they did a fantastic job with this one. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's citrusy, there's vanilla in it, there's mandarin orange, pear at the top, there's some sweet notes, jasmine, rose in the middle, there's vanilla, musk, raspberry. If you're familiar with Oriana, then let me tell you, this is longer lasting, this is deeper, it's great performance, and it would actually be one of my highly rated closest dupes. So if I was going to rate all of my dupes in my collection, I'd probably say this is the closest one that even outperforms the original. So this is really good if you want to get your nose on it. Again, I'll have it linked in my Amazon storefront. Okay, you guys, so this is the end of part 3 of my perfume collection. In my next video, we'll start looking at my designer fragrances, and I do have 2 full layers of designer fragrances. I do have some sort of splattered around at the top as well, but predominantly this is where I keep the bulk of my designer fragrances. So this layer and this layer, and we will attempt to do at least 1.5, if not both layers in one video, because I do have quite a lot of fragrances in this higher. Let me show you. Yeah, in this level I do have quite a lot of fragrances, and then we still have this top layer as well. So I'm hoping to get this and this done in the next video. If not, it will be this in its entirety, right? And then half of this, and then we can tackle the rest with the other shelf in the next video. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the series, and if you are, definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, I will have them linked in the description box below, so please go ahead and catch up. I showcased some of my designer fragrances, some of my inspired by, some of my niche fragrances, my Kayali fragrances, and the rest of my Middle Eastern and French fragrances in those videos. So if you want to catch up on those, go check it out. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in a future video. Take care. Bye.